This goes to the makeup of the board. It probably doesn't relate so much to David and Marnie, and an ex-cocky. Gee, massive. As an ex-cocky, you'd be a unique beast. Kenneth Hayne commented in his only public appearance since the Financial Services Royal Commission that the reason we are having so many Royal Commissions is that the administrative, judicial and legislative sectors are not fit for purpose, or words to that effect. Ken Henry, who came to NAB from the administrative sector, stated at the last year's NAB AGM that boards have a limited pool from which to draw their members. We see cross-pollination between the banks and the legislative sector, for instance, Mike Baird and Malcolm Turnbull. As for the judicial sector, they too are well represented on bank boards. Like the administrative, judicial and legislative sectors, bank boards across the FSP sector have shown themselves not to be fit for purpose. And this has been the case for many years. There is a pool that boards seem reluctant to draw their members from, and that is their own banks. The only reason the Commonwealth Bank, Catherine Livingston, could give was this was a philosophical approach. My question is, why is there so much resistance from banks populating a significant number of their boards with staff-nominated members from within?
I thought you were going to tell us that we didn't have a diverse enough board, and I was rehearsing in my mind an answer about where this board comes from and how broadly based it is in skills, background, experience and all those things. But we do have people who actually have worked on banks, in banks. But I think you're suggesting, are you, that staff should have the capacity to nominate a board member? That would be, I think, and there are other jurisdictions around the world where that sort of system happened. I think in Germany there's a process where at least with some of the board, and they have tiered structures in boards, some of those boards have a requirement that certain numbers of employee nominees and things. So the role of boards is hard enough, and what you want is to ensure that people who are on boards are separate enough from the day-to-day activities of what goes on in the organisation to be able to, as it were, adjudicate on that contest as to where the marginal dollars are spent. So I think that's one good reason why in the Australian structure we don't allow or don't look for employees to have nominees. But that's not to say that employees aren't heard or aren't part of the process. Our board meetings, we do have periods in our board meetings where it's only non-executive directors. But for the most time, executives are involved in board meetings and those discussions, because that's how we as non-executives actually learn about what's going on. So that's my answer to your question. We're not proposing to change our board structure in that way. I don't think it would be a sound outcome, and I think we hear and have plenty of opportunity to hear from our employees at that level. Next question.
Can I just make one
No,
comment?
I think that's enough. We've got a lot of people lined up.
Fair enough.
I need to keep moving.